Hey everyone, I wanted to make a quick video from my phone and put this up on YouTube. What I'm doing is I'm learning how to use MainStage, and what I have is apparently a unique setup. I've got two dedicated keyboards, and I wanted to be able to use both keyboards in MainStage. And I don't use controllers. I've got a Korg M50, and then I've got a Kurzweil PC88. And so what I have been doing is using Reason for all my additional sounds, because I really like Reason more than Ableton. But I have a bunch of patches here, all straight down in a row and color coordinated, right? And so I've got pianos up at the top, got some FMs, I've got a Hammond, I've got some Rhodes sounds, then they get into some synth sounds and some layered sounds, and then some kind of unique, weird sounding synths, right? So what I do is I will use my piano as a dedicated master keyboard, so that's usually set to one of these, and then I'll set the Korg, and I have to right click and set the Korg and assign it to one of the other instruments. And I find that's great for when I'm at home practicing, but when I'm at a gig, I always have to remember, oh, this song, I've got to go to this keyboard now and go to this keyboard now for each song that we're doing. So I've been reading up and hearing that MainStage is the way to go, and it's a better setup, and it might be yet less CPU intensive. So I'm going to close out of Reason here, and I'll bring up MainStage. So the problem that I've been having is watching YouTube videos and seeing how everyone says to set up MainStage on their computer, and no one or very few people seem to use a two keyboard setup, and if they do, then it falls short of what I'm trying to do. So all the tutorials that I've been watching will say to go to a setup and then click on keyboard minimalist, and then delete everything out of there and then start from scratch. Okay, well, I'd been doing that and following a bunch of different videos, kept getting to the same roadblock where I couldn't figure out how to get patches on each keyboard to play, and then route it over here in the mixer. And then if I clicked on one sound, it would only play on one keyboard. If I clicked on another sound, then the sounds here went away and they appeared on the top keyboard. So if you've tried this, maybe you know what I'm talking about. If you want to do this with your setup, here's what I found to be the solution. So create, I'll just call this test right now. I'm going to create a new two keyboard setup. And when I hit the sound, you'll see that both keyboards are playing, right? And this says, the title pad to this is, electric piano and synth. So down here, you've got piano and you've got a soft pedal synth. Okay, so that's the template that you start with. Okay, go into layout. Click on the bottom keyboard. Okay. Go to your MIDI port, change this to whatever your audio driver is. Change the channel to channel 1. And rename this bottom keyboard. And it's going to be an 88. Sorry if I'm keep moving the phone. So change the name, change your audio port to your audio driver. Put it on channel 1. Change the name of that to bottom keyboard, and if it's an 88 or whatever size it is, that's fine. I like to see the layers, but if you have, from what I understand, if you're using more than 3 VSTs, it tends to be a resource hog. So I'm going to cut this down to 3. Okay, now I'm not doing anything else with any of the other setup in here, right? Okay, click on the top keyboard. Do the same thing. Change this to your audio driver. Change this to channel 2. And we'll call this one top. And right now, by the way, I don't have any keyboards hooked up. This is just my Mac by itself. I'm going to change this to a 61 key. Okay, I'm going to change this to 3. Okay. That's all I've done. Have not changed anything else. Go back to edit. I'm going to click on a key. Okay, so now that's playing just the bottom sound. This is playing just the top sound. Okay. Now I'm in a cover band. So if you're in a cover band, you're doing, let's say you're doing a song that's got piano on the bottom keyboard and synths on the top keyboard. That's my primary setup. So here's a shortcut, or here's what you want to do. Go over here to your channels. On your keyboard, on a Mac, just do Command D. And Command D again. So now you have 3 channels. They're all going to say classic piano. Here in your input, I'm going to change the first one, and I'm just going to grab whatever's on top. So clav. The next one, I'm going to grab studio strings. Okay. Now I'm going to hit a key. Okay. If you want to go in here and change the color of things and mess around with all that, you can do that. Now for the top keyboard, do the same thing. Here's the green one. You select it, do Command D, Command D. Now let's just change these sounds here. This is the first one is retro synth. So I'm going to make this an ES1. I'm going to make this next one here, make it an ES2. Tap on this. Okay, great. So there we have 3 separate sounds here, 3 separate sounds here, plus I'll have whatever sounds are on my Korg, which is going to play up here, and whatever sounds I have on my piano, which will play down here. So I can potentially have 2 sounds on my piano plus these 3. Who knows how many? I could play 4 different sounds at once on my Korg plus these 3. So I can have fat sounds. Plus I have an organ, which I haven't even gotten into. Now over here, this says electric piano and synth. So you're going to click this once, and this is what's hard to find an explanation of on YouTube. This is where you want your songs to be, right? So I've got this song set up, and the first song, say of the night, is going to be "Call Me." Okay, so just right-click, and duplicate that. Okay, so now go over, say the second song of the night is going to be My Girl. Okay, then just go over and select the song, the sounds, the patches that you want for that song, for each keyboard. You're going to build your patches for each song over here, and then I need to control shift click, hold on. Okay, so then you shift click and select all of these, and then new set from selection. Okay, so that's the set. So this could be the first set, right? And you get all your songs in there. So when you take the time to do this, you'll build all the songs of your band's set list, and then folders for each set, and then just drag these songs into each folder. You'll have this list all the way down. This list auto-populates here because this is in the layout. So don't touch this or don't delete this, even though a bunch of videos will say, oh, start with the minimalist and then delete everything. You can, if you want to, you can go ahead and take this and then build buttons and knobs and stuff like that if you've got a controller. I don't need to do all that stuff. So then when you come over into performance, then here is Call Me, and then here is Be My Girl, and then I can just go up and down the set list. The buttons aren't programmed, but you get the idea. There they are. Patches. So down here, the patch up and down will control this, which I can make program to a key on my keyboard if I want to, or I have an iPad Pro, so I can sync the iPad Pro to MainStage and do that. So this is the proper way to set up a 2 keyboard setup, and then quickly make multiple patches, separate your keyboard so they're not playing duplicate sounds, and start building your set list just by duplicating each one, change the sounds, put it in a folder. I hope that helps, and it took me hours and days to sit here and figure this out. So I hope I've taken some time off of somebody's life and given you some time back. All right, thanks. Bye.